Our world needs love and our world needs kindness, and that starts with yourself. Welcome back to the Divine Beauty channel. We are so happy that you clicked that play button, and we are so happy for you to be here. We're going to be talking about really awesome things today. We're going to be talking about love yourself, which is a fantastic topic, and I think that a lot of people really have to embrace themselves and embrace their uniqueness. So with me today I have some really fun and special guests. This is Mallory. She's awesome and I love her dearly, and this is Katie, and she's also just as awesome, and I just love her as much as well.
Hey.
So
Thank you.
So anyways, so we will get rolling. I think that this topic of loving yourself is something that in today's world is really hard to do, because a lot of times we feel like we have to look a certain way, and it's like in one of the last videos that we had with Carla, we talked about how the media expects us to look this certain type of way, and so they take away all the uniqueness and stuff from people and not make them feel like they can love that unique part or flaw or whatever it may be.
Well, I mean, if we all were the same, if we all looked the same, if we all acted the same, it would just be boring, and who wants to live in a boring world?
Oh, that's so true. I completely agree with that. Because that, like, if we were all cookie cutters, then you're so right, that would be horrible. I would hate to have a bunch of Nicoles running around because because that would be crazy.
Plus, in terms of dating, you're all the same, so how would the guys choose between us?
That's very true. That would also be horrible. It would. So what are some of the challenges y'all faced with growing up and loving yourself and loving your uniqueness, in a sense?
Okay, I'll go first. So there's a lot of things that are unique about me, and I've definitely had to work really hard to learn to love them. I think the one that stands out, well, there's quite a few that stand out quite a bit. One is that I'm really tall, and not a lot of people like that.
How tall are you?
I am, well, okay, so I guess I need to get better at this. I tell most people I'm 5'11". I'm really probably about 6 feet. And that's okay. It's okay now. It makes it hard because, first of all, it's really hard to find clothes that are long enough and find shoes that are big enough and stuff like that, so that makes you feel bad about yourself if the society cannot fit you, so that was something that was always really hard growing up, especially when I have cute little short petite friends that are always really fun. But I think I've learned how much you can do with height, and I know that sounds really silly, but it's not a curse. I mean,
no, she just turned our fan off for us. I can't reach it, so it's been on this whole time.
I hurt myself just a little bit. That's okay. But that's not even a big deal anymore. I don't even care about that one. Another one that stands out though is that my teeth are pretty unique. They're pretty crooked, and I have a little too many. But that's something that I kind of embraced early on, because I knew I wanted to go to school to be an elementary school teacher, and I knew that I wanted to teach kids to love themselves. So even though I had the opportunity to change that and to get braces because it's a super easy fix, I decided that I would keep them so that everyone could see that it's okay to have differences and you can still love somebody just as much if they're a little different. So I guess that was one thing that I did.
I absolutely love that. Like, how courageous you are to be able to say, you know what, this is me, and I want to teach other people to love themselves. Yeah. And I think that's super awesome.
Yeah, it's very inspirational.
Thank you. It's hard sometimes. I mean, especially in dating and, being the age that we're at, in our early 20s or mid 20s or late 20s, whatever it is, when there's guys involved in anything, it makes everything a lot harder. But one thing that I've seen is that, it does make some people not want to be around you. It does make somebody find you a lot less attractive, but those aren't the kind of guys that I want to be around. So I definitely want something that's more than that, that's a little deeper. So, I mean, it's kind of a defense at the same time, and I don't mind it so much. So, yeah, it's been a blessing in disguise, I guess.
Yeah, I think I love that. I think you can tell by people's character if they don't want to be with you because of the way you look. That's horrible. Don't ever do that to someone. Don't. I'll come in through this camera and get you. Can't do that. That's not what we stand for. We stand for loving yourself and loving others. And I think like embracing that and being able to say, you know what, I don't need a man that doesn't like me for who I am or wants me to change the way I am. So I think that's super important and very, very great to put out there, because I feel like a lot of girls sometimes, definitely at our age, like you said, feel that way. Feel like they have to be this perfect picture of whatever that they've made up in their head, and that's not true.
Well, it's not made up though. It's what we're fed. Like
That's true.
We had before with the media, and the world fits this certain mold. The world wants you to fit this certain mold, and not everyone can fit, and that's okay.
Yep.
So even the people that we think fit, they're photoshopped, or they're I think of the Meghan Trainor song.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's not real. And if you do encounter someone who happens to fit very close, they still have things about themselves that they don't like.
Yeah, which is sad.
Yeah.
It's not good that anyone feels that way, but it's true. Almost everyone does.
Yeah. I agree. What about you? What were the challenges you had?
Well, the biggest one is very physical and very visual. I was born with a disability, and I was actually born with spina bifida, and then I developed scoliosis later in life, and so it affected my legs. And I'm one of those people that I don't really like the way my legs look. They're a bit deformed, and even my back, my lower back, after I had my scoliosis surgery, it actually looks like Jack the Ripper took a knife to it.
Oh man.
It does not look nice.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way, or at least it doesn't in my opinion. We had a plastic surgeon come in and make it look better, but I still don't like it, and so I can only imagine what it could have looked like. But it's very hard growing up when everyone, they look at you but they don't see you first. They look at the walker, they look at the wheelchair, and it's very much where you feel like you're under a microscope, and you want to be loved. You want people to see you for yourself and love you for that. And so it was interesting too. I remember being in middle school, and I have a waddle to my walk, and a lot of the kids were kind of mean, and they said some things regarding that. And then, I don't know, as I got older, I realized, you know what, I kind of look like a penguin when I walk. It's kind of cute. And I have like a little penguin model, and I love penguins, so I think that's adorable. And
there you go.
and I've been going to the gym a lot more, and so trying to work out, and slowly but surely I'm starting to actually love my body for the way it is, and I mean, and knowing that I can actually, mold it a little bit more. That's good, and being able to just love the way that I look, and I am unique. And the fact of the matter is too, I was told that I would never be able to walk, and it's like, okay, well, I kicked booty in that area.
You go. That's awesome.
And so, people might tease me by the way that I look and the way that I walk, but at least I look at how far I've come and all the things that I've accomplished, and it makes me feel really good about myself, and it gets me through.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That is so awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is really important, I think, because I mean, I knew that you I know a lot of your story, but I didn't know that you felt like your legs were deformed at all. I've never felt like that at all. I mean, I've never even noticed that, so it's so funny that's, obviously I haven't seen your back, I mean, but I'm sure it's beautiful too, but I mean, it's funny that you struggle with that, because I mean, they look fine. You have nice legs. So like, it's funny because what's our biggest problem to us, most people might just overlook completely, and not even notice. So
no, I think that's a great point. I think we beat ourselves up a lot of times because of what we've been put in our heads, and I think we feel like we have to hide those things, or we have to fix those things, or what have you. And I like what you said, that like most people don't even see that. Like, I've never seen that. Like, I think it's awesome how people can be able to see really who you are, and I hate when people don't, because they're missing out on that. And I think y'all are both so courageous to be able to stand up and say, you know what, I love me, and that's it. I don't care what you think. I love me, and that's all that matters. And so, and I think with you, definitely, like, seeing, you were told you cannot walk, or won't be able to walk, and then now you are able to walk. Like, that is amazing. Amazing. And I think, like, just looking at that, and if people knew that without their automatic judgment that comes to their first head, you know, they don't know the mountain that you've climbed, you know, and the progress you've made, which is amazing. So I love that. I think that's awesome. I think something that I wanted to talk about, my thing is not really seen, but it's something I struggled with a ton, is that I'm dyslexic. If you saw one of my Instagram posts, I spelled something wrong. Go try to find it. But that's just me, and it took me forever to love myself. I always felt like I was really, really stupid, or, you know, I was in high school and couldn't spell certain words, or couldn't read aloud, or whatever. And up until now, it's taken me to where I can, you know, be like, you know what, this is a part of who I am, and I love that part of me. And I mean, sometimes, like with probably any of us, we still stumble upon those things and be like, dang it, I misspelled that word and everyone sees it now. Great, I can't go back and fix it, but that's okay. But we pick ourselves back up, and you say, you know what, I love me, and I'm going to keep going. And hopefully you spell check. But
I like that though, because even if you make that mistake and it reminds you of that, and it's still a reminder, well, you know what, yes, I have this thing, this is what makes you special, but at the same time, with your dyslexia, you've overcome that to a certain point where it's like, yeah, I can do this. And even when you make that mistake, it's like, okay, well, this is a reminder again how far that I've come.
Yeah, that's important.
I think that's specific, like, so important. I think we just keep bringing that up because it is. I think just look at where you've come, like where you started struggling with whatever it may be, whether it may be a disability or a learning disability or a physical disability or whatever, physical look. Go back and look and say, you know what, where was I when I first started hating that part of me, and where am I now? Do I love myself, or do I need to keep going? And I encourage you to keep going, keep pushing, and love how you look, or any of those flaws.
One thing I've learned though is not to beat myself up over the bad days, you know, because you feel like you've come so far, and then you have a bad day and you're like, oh, I'm back at the beginning again. But that's not the way it is. You're stronger each time, and you're more able to handle it each time. So
yeah, absolutely. And I love that. Don't let those bad days slip you up, because I feel that way sometimes. I feel like, dang it, man, everyone thinks I'm a dummy, you know, when I slip up or mess up or whatever.
And I feel that way sometimes, especially like when we go and we go swimming, and I have to wear a bathing suit, and everyone's going to see my legs, and just things like
the same
that.
problem.
Like a lot of girls.
But yeah, we will have our bad days. That's unfortunately a part of life. But don't let that beat you. Don't beat yourself up about that. Don't let yourself think that it's, you know, that's all that there is, because it will get better, and you can love yourself from there, and you don't have to start back, like Mallory was saying, from square one.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like you brought up dating, and I think you brought up dating, so we'll just bring up dating back again. And so I think, like, a lot of times, I know for me especially, I struggle with, like, man, I'm never gonna find a man that loves me for my misspelling words or whatever, you know. And I think we all have that, those thoughts that come into our heads, or like, no one's gonna love me for this or this, X, Y, and Z. And I want to stomp my foot on that and say that is not true at all. That's not true. Each and every one of us will find someone that will love every single part of us, whether you see it as a flaw and they see it as a beauty. And I think that's amazing.
Somebody told me something once that really stuck with me. It was somebody that I admired, and I don't know, they're a guy, so that makes a difference too. But I'm going to share something that's kind of, not something I share a lot, but whatever. So, one thing, should I share it?
Yeah, go for it.
One thing that I'm self-conscious about is that, like, okay, this can sound so gross, but, like, my hands just sweat sometimes, and it just happens. And, like, you know, when you're dancing with people or doing whatever, like, I don't know, of all things, you don't want your hands to be sweaty. That's just gross. And I told somebody that. We were in like a little group of people, and I told someone that, and they looked at me and they're like, you know what? One day, somebody's going to look at you and they're going to love you for that flaw, because that's what makes you you. And it's so true. And what's really cool is that I have experienced that just a little bit. Somebody loving you even with all those parts of you that you don't always love. And it's so much more of a pure love, and it's just a completely different feeling.
It reminds me of one of the last dances that we all went to. I was dancing with a guy and my hands were so sweaty, and I thought, oh man, he's gonna think I'm gross too. But then, you know what, we were enjoying the conversation and actually completely forgot about it until you were talking about that. So that's interesting. And another really good friend that I also admire, she told me at one point, because I was struggling so much about dating and making sure that, you know, I didn't get really down and out about, you know, guys only seeing my locker and trying to push past that. Because, you know, guys are very visual. Or at least we've heard that our entire lives.
At least we think. If you're not, tell us in the comments. We'd like to know.
We would really like to know. But I was very, I don't even want to say depressed, but I was just very sad about all these things that I've had to deal with, or what I thought I'd built up in my head, what I had to deal with. And she told me, she stopped me and she said, Katie, you will find a guy that loves you for everything that you are, everything that you look like. And you know what? If he doesn't, then he's not the right guy for you, and you will find a better guy for you. He'll be a better guy in general, because if he's judging you by the way that you look, then he's not the kind of guy that you should be dating.
Amen. Amen to that. I think that's wholeheartedly true. I think if you find someone that loves you, every piece of you, whether it's a fingernail or the hair on your head, they have to love it. No, I'm just kidding. They don't have to love my fingernails, but they should love me for who I am and love all of us, whoever those men may be. And I think that's so awesome. So thank you for sharing that. I want to challenge you guys to, if you struggle with flaws or whatever, or the way you look, I want you to look in the mirror right now. Pause this video and go look in the mirror. Wait, I have to tell you what to do first. So don't pause it just yet. So I want you to go look in the mirror, and I want you to look at yourself. Straight in the eye. Look at yourself and say, I am beautiful and I am worth it. And then come back and tell us how you feel after that. Leave it in the comments. I think promoting that and promoting self-love is something that our world needs right now. Our world needs love, and our world needs kindness, and that starts with yourself. And so love yourself, love your flaws, love your uniqueness, love every piece of you. Would you like to add anything?
You just reminded me, I think, of a John Mayer song.
Oh yes, I love John Mayer.
Nicole is right on the mark with that one. Love every bit of you, because you only get one you, and that's special, and you only get one shot to make this life amazing. And why waste it on trying to figure out all these things that you think you could be better about, that you can't really change? Like, I can't change the fact that I have a disability, but it's made my life different and amazing in so many different ways. Yes, I've struggled, but I definitely wouldn't be the same person I am today without those struggles. And so I think just enjoy the moment and enjoy every bit of you, because that's who you are. That's what makes you special and amazing.
I think it's also important not to hide the things that make you different. So not only learn to love them yourself, but don't hide them, because I mean, I guess when you're in a relationship, whether it's with your friends or with guys or whatever it is, they're going to find out one way or another. And I don't want to waste so much time on somebody who's not going to accept something that's a little different about me. I want them to know right away, I'm a little quirky, you know, my personality is a little different than some people's, and I've got things that I'm somewhat self-conscious about sometimes, but I'm learning to love about myself, and you need to love them too, and you need to accept me for that.
I like that, because if you aren't honest up front about who you are, you're going to be very uncomfortable in that relationship.
Definitely. And it's not going to work. What happens then?
Exactly.
Heartbreak. That's what happens then. I've experienced this.
That's our message today. Love yourself and love every piece of you. Until next time. I forgot to say something, so I need to say it now so that I can put it in where it's supposed to be. I need to tell people to subscribe to my channel.
Yes, that's important.
Okay, wait. to share this video with your friends, some of them who might need an uplift or just to be told that they're beautiful. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to our channel. Welcome. If not, share it with your friends and comment below, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I will leave those links below. I will also leave a link to the videos that we talked about in this video. They should have come up at the little eye at the top of the page. Anyways, that's it. We love you. Goodbye. Again.